They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over. Your orders are to shoot the prisoners, all of them.
The story begins in Sing Sing Maximum Security Prison, moments after the governor had just given the order to execute every prisoner. Dublin peace talks have failed, and a war that originated in Iraq has escalated to North Korea, Pakistan, China, and even the West. World War III was now imminent. There can't be murders and dope dealers running loose in an atomic wasteland. They need to be executed.
Assholes went to be with their women, which means the joke's on them because right under this block is the bomb shelter for the prison staff.
It was put in during the 50s, when all this international shit started going bad. We got orders to open it up and renovate it. The soldiers go down the stairs and head towards D Block, where the worst criminals are sent, including murderers and kitty rapers. But that's not all. Someone else was locked down here. Someone so dangerous that would have killed every inmate in Sing Sing if he was given the chance.
Check it out, boys. Take a look in his eyes.
The soldiers were curious and got closer to take a peek inside his cell, but out of nowhere, the lights went out.
Keep it together, you assholes. The shelter, remember? We finish off here and then get our asses down there. We're gonna be just fine. God damn it, Quimby, will you let go of my rifle? I ain't got your motherfucking rifle, boy. Then who the fuck has it? Oh, Jesus Christ.
1 year later, someone breaks open the gate to the sewer pipe and exits outside. 2 men, a con artist named Paris Peters, and Frank Castle, aka the Punisher.
Frank, what the fuck have they done to the sky? I don't know, but it looks like the clouds are burning.
The 2 men spent 1 year inside the bunker, hiding and surviving the fallout that followed a nuclear war. Frank says they need to move or they will die in 72 hours if they stay out here. Frank was armed with a rifle in his hands and says he is going to New York City, and Paris was welcome to follow him. What they find on the way was shocking. Thousands of people were caught inside their cars when the bombs hit. There was nowhere to run. Their flesh was burnt in seconds, and only the skeletons remained.
They just sat here and died? Looks like it.
Paris was a short operator out of Syracuse. Found himself in Sing Sing when he made the wrong man look asshole of the year. But now there is no Syracuse. Everything and everyone is dead. They stumble across a refugee camp that became a graveyard. Fire trails from a gunfight at what might have been a soup kitchen, signs of life that all too quickly turned to death. They find shelter inside an old school bus, full with bodies of people who committed mass suicide. Frank tells the story of how the war started.
Iraq was one thing, North Korea, even Pakistan. You shout war on terror at the Chinese, and they laugh so hard the world blows up in your face.
He offers something to eat to Paris, but he refuses, saying there is no point.
Seriously, what for? Why are you keeping going? Work's still to be done. You mean killing, right? Yes. Jesus fucking Christ. Brooklyn got a direct hit, near miss on Manhattan. Near enough though. Looks like they really plastered Jersey. I thought it'd just be like craters. Earth soaks up the blast at ground level. Airburst gives you a bigger kill zone.
The entire city was in ruins. Entire skyscrapers were leveled to the ground and there was no sign of life. But Frank was still going somewhere.
In the rubble and bones of Long Island City, we find ourselves a vessel and slowly make our way across the Black East River. Paris was expecting continuity, humanity learning to adapt and overcome, maybe a settlement, a sign. Instead, there's not even a rat or a bug.
After the Twin Towers collapsed, they closed a lot of subway stations in the neighborhood for repairs, or at least that's what people thought. In truth, they built a bunker here, 90 floors down.
Almost there. What makes you so sure? It's just like Teach described it. Look around for a keypad. Jesus, he gave you the code? He was dying. Now get in.
They get inside the elevator, and a tranquilizer gas kicks in, putting them to sleep. Frank wakes up several hours later, and a woman doctor wearing a hazmat suit tells him to not move because he is very, very sick and will likely die in just a few hours. Walking around up there unprotected, Frank absorbed too much radiation. The doctor had to sedate Paris because he couldn't stand the pain when he came around. She injects Frank with adrenaline, saying that 2 soldiers want to talk to him. They wanted to know where the hell they came from. He gets up and puts on his clothes, but while the doctor wasn't paying attention, he grabs one of the knives on the table.
I'll cut your suit open. You'll get what I've got if you don't call those 2 assholes in here.
Frank throws the doctor against the soldiers and then uses the knife to slice their throats. He then asks the doctor to wake up Paris.
Why did you kill her? She was part of it. Let's go. Once upon a time, there was a bunch of evil fucks. Hardly anyone knew because they were so good at keeping it quiet. But these particular evil fucks owned the world. They ran the great industries that poisoned the air. Their businesses turned whole countries into slaves. The money they made could have fed and healed the population of the earth twice over, but all they could think to do with it was hoard it. They got away with it by being expert salesmen. These were men who could sell anything to anyone. They made puppets out of presidents and started wars for profit. Eventually, they came to believe that there was nothing they couldn't do. And so one day, inevitably, they pushed the planet's luck too far.
Frank killed everyone who stood in his way, dealing with waves of soldiers until he reached the comms room.
Time's up. Who the fuck are you? You people should have killed William Teacher, the man who designed this place. You should have killed him, not just framed him, not just had him sent to Sing Sing prison. That's where he ran into me.
Teacher told Frank about this bunker and about the kind of people that built it. Oilmen and generals, computer billionaires, and senators, a group of people called the Coven. These slime balls create bunkers like this one, where they could survive for over 100 years and even repopulate.
But who are you? I'm the thing that you let loose. Wait, I'm begging you. Please just wait. You're going to kill us anyway. What difference will it make to listen to me for just a couple of minutes?
One of the men says that they lost contact with the other bunkers, and for all they know, they are the last living humans on Earth. Luckily, they have a bank of frozen human embryos and experts to ensure their survival, and they alone can save the human race.
And that's all I wanted to say. Do what you will. Expert salesmen, they could sell anything to anyone, except me.
Poor souls had no idea who they were dealing with. They thought they could bargain with the Punisher. Frank killed all of them and didn't even bat an eye, but he did have a question for Paris.
How does a small-time con artist get sent to D-Block?
Paris says that he set fire to a bunch of empty houses for a guy, insurance fraud. However, the houses were next to a kindergarten, and many kids got burned to death because of him. Frank knew all along that something was wrong with his story, but wanted to see if he would admit it himself. Paris starts crying, but it was too late for regret. Frank does what Frank does best, punishing the evil souls.
When I open my eyes, the sun is shining. It's 1976. I'm headed up to Central Park. The cab should have me there in 20 minutes.
Frank goes outside again and thinks about his family. The scorching fire burns everything inside the city, including the skin on his face, which was falling off.